Hey guys, I'm going to show two versions of the Magistus WF Decklist as well as a combo tutorial. Now this deck is a deck that actually performed really well in official tournament setting. There is this event called CAD, which is a cross archetype Discord tournament, and I played something very similar to this in that tournament and ended up getting, I think we got 3rd or 4th place in the tournament, and it's against a lot of the meta and all of that. It was in Malice and Duel format, so it's a little bit outdated. But obviously, Master Duel, we're still currently in that format, and it's still a powerful deck, and it's something to be aware of if you want to get into Magistus and play the deck with the new support. I'll be showing you the deck lists. So I have the deck list I'm currently playing in Master Duel, just because I don't have all the cards, and I also want to test out stuff. And the version of the deck list that is like a little bit more consistent, a little bit more clean. You can play whatever you want. I'll go into the reason why I do what I do. I also don't have all the cards, so this is why I'm also not playing the more quote-unquote clean version. But let's get into it. So this is the version I'm playing right now on ladder. I'm currently Diamond 4. I have no doubts I can get out of Diamond and get into Master with this deck list. It's just going to take time to grind. Master Duel, as you know, is a grind. It's highly dependent on if you're drawing like Maxi or Fuas, and depending on like what your opponent draws. I hate best of 1 formats, but it is a good deck. It can break boards, and has multiple extenders, right? So it's something to at least try out if you're wanting to. I guess like it's not much to say. There's Jenny to use with your Lacrima of Light. I'll show you the combo. Jenny's really like a brick though, so you need ways to discard her. So you have the White Forest. I mean, not the White Forest. The Dia Bellstar package. And I run Old Crowley in this list just so I can get her out of the hand. She's not a good card to draw at all. Your Maxis, your hand traps, Nemesis Flag. You get to him through Infernal Flame Banshee, which opens up your White Forest combo. That is most of the time what you're going to search off the White Forest combo. You have the one Veiler, you have Elzat, and you have Spoon you can search off her, and Related obviously. But usually you're going to be searching Elzat to special summon and get into also your Azamina combo. Ash, Koror, sorry. And then a little bit your Magistus Engine. This is your starters. Spoon plus Liliana. I only have 1 Spoon, so this is also why I'm playing this Horus version, because I need more starters. But you can cut the Horus version. Obviously, I have to go above 40 because of the big Horus package. 1 Crowley. You actually don't need more than 1 Crowley, especially if you're running Old Crowley. You can run 2. I just prefer Old Crowley over the second new Crowley. It plays into Nibiru, but this card also has like graveyard effect that comes up, which is the same as Leona's graveyard effect, and it's a semi-extender depending on when you get stopped. Bestial is just hand traps. They search each other. It's like you don't really have much value in this deck other than just like Magnum can search and do a Swarm King out a card, but there are decent hand traps, and it's not like it interferes with the deck. We have a lot of Lights and Darks. 1 Diabella Star. You can run more. Again, Wanted is at 1, so you can run more Diabella Star if you want to, just to have more access to her. But you get to basically the entire combo off 1 card. And there's multiple extenders, like Lacrima of Light is an extender. You can draw a part of the engine. Like, if you draw, any part of the Azamina engine, you're good, too. So it's not like it's a big deal to have more than 1 Diabella Star. Then Horus, just because I want to get access to the Zombie Vampire. Also, these are big, sticky monsters. And you have discard out. It's Deception. A Diabella Star will be able to discard them if you break on them. Hand Trap, Nibiru, I just ran whatever. I'm not really, like, hyper-fixated on the meta right now. You can run Lancey, that's very Malice. It's just like, we have Ryzeal, we have Malice, we have, like, the Jab Knight combo that people have been playing. It's, like, not a big deal. Hallowed Azamina. Just for the Azamina package, your King Sarks. Yeah, basically. And then this is the extra deck. Baguska is there just because he's a good card if you get trolled or if you get Fluid. because usually what people do is you normal summon Leona, they would chain Fua. After really Leona resolves, you chain Lacrimal of Light, special from deck, bring out like a rank level 4, maybe Crowley probably, or Spenta, one of the two. Probably, you know, Spenta's better. You bring out Spenta and then you make Baguska and you just pass on that. It's not a great end board through like Fua and Droll, but at least you have something, right? But other than that, Ninaru is important because if you draw this Crowley, you can search for this Crowley instead in the combo. Use him in Rilliona, which I'll show you. I'll hopefully remember when I do the combo tutorial and I'll walk through it how to get to here. But you use Rilliona him instead of leaking out Rilliona to Artemis to make Ninaru. Ninaru will add back this Crowley, and then you can make Vetharaga and still make the 3 level 4 monsters plus Vetharaga with an equip. That's usually the board that Magistus is going to always get to off of Rilliona starter. Then we have Savage, so we make Savage instead of what I used to make in the tournament was I would make Zora, the Synchro Zora. But we have Savage, so Omni negates are always annoying, so they're good. Is there anything else to mention here? Yeah, everything else is just like related to the combo. Sadly, this deck actually plays like so much cards that are used in the extra deck. You will burn through a lot of his cards, and you have a bit of cycle, but it's not great. I'm not really playing to like with this deck. You either win on turn 1 or break their board and kill them. There isn't much to like keep going. You have Vetharaga as a continuous negate. You have your Azamina as always continuous negate. But if Vetharaga gets outed in this version of the deck, since I'm running Sinful Slumber and not the Balance Survive spell that they have, Vetharaga can't really come back easily. So, yep, this is what I'm doing for the extra deck. This is my version. White Forest just takes out the Horde variant, runs maybe a Talents, and runs your Spentas. So you have a clean 40. Spenta's a starter, Rilliana's a starter. Good stuff. Alright, I'll do the combo tutorial quickly. So here we go. I'm just going to start off with Rilliona as my starter. If you start with Rilliona, then you would search Spoon with your Artemis search, and then search for the old Crowley, or new Crowley, or whatever you want to call him. I call him New Crowley, Old Crowley. You can call him Gifted Crowley and Grindmore's Crowley. It's up to you. I don't really care. But if you start with Spoon, you're going to search for Rilliona. Rilliona is the actual starter you normal summon. So Rilliona, normal summon, activate her effect, search for your Lacrimal of Light, activate Lacrimal of Light, sending to your grave the Jenny. Banish. Bring out your Azor from deck. And since we haven't gone through Crowley yet, or Spoon yet, we can search for Spoon here. If you have gone through Spoon, you would have to link Rillion off first. But this is a little safer if you haven't gone through Spoon, just because you have 2 level 4s on board. And you don't have to like make Shirozo to make it on level 4. Boom. Bop. Search for your Crowley, the Gift of Magistus. And then you go boom, boom. Vetharaga. 5th summon, protected, because you can send this Artemis. But let's be a little bit more protected and not burn through resources. Equipped resources just yet. So now we have equipped 2 Vetharaga. I mean, you're still burning through equipped resource, but just like we're gonna use something on the board to make Shirozo in a sec. I like to use Rilliona here, but Spoon technically could be safer if you know your opponent's on Bystials. But anyway, use Rilliona's Graveyard Effect or Spoon's Graveyard Effect. Equip the Artemis or the Ninaru, depending on if your opponent Bystials you. And then when Zora's equipped, you can revive. And there you go. This is the common and the board I'm just gonna get to on every combo. Especially with not really every combo, but like this is the baseline combo you should need to know from Magistus, which gets you to 3 level 3s and Vetharaga. Uh, the only difference is if you drew the hard Crowley. You saw when I lead off Liliana, I wouldn't search for new Crowley with Spoon. I would not, and I wouldn't lead off Liliana. You would then, uh, you would then instead just keep Liliana on board, search for the old Crowley, especially on the old Crowley by discarding the new Crowley, which gives you Magistus, and make Niruru, because I run Niruru in the extra deck. And Niruru will add back this Crowley, the gift of Magistus, because Niruru has an effect that you can detach one material from this card, target 1 level 4 or higher castrate monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand, and Crowley works even when returned from the graveyard. It doesn't need to be searched from the deck. If this card's added to your hand, except by drawing it, you can special summon it. Okay, from here, you need to keep one of these tuners out. I like to keep Shirozo out because he actually has a cool effect that can come up. Summon Banshee up here just to make space. It doesn't actually matter. You don't actually run out of space. But just do that. Now you have your access to your white forest. So Nemesis Flag, put back Jenny. We can use Jenny again. Amazing. Not just say one resource. Search for Corridor because we need him for Colossus. From here, just because we might as well keep our resources as much as we can. Use Spoon Effect in the graveyard. Attach to your Zora, the Artemis. Now we still can send from the back row, and we have that protection. Make a Cilia. Send one of the equips. Neither equip doesn't really matter. Technically, Artemis might be a little bit better because if you keep her and Zora on the board, you can use her to search on your next turn. Search for LZ effect in hand, special summon, and make Savage. Love that. And as long as you make sure you keep one Artemis in your graveyard, you're going to be good. You don't need to equip Artemis, obviously, with that. You could have equipped the Crowley. Or, sorry, not the Crowley. Anyone. Shirozo, probably. No, we had Shirozo gone. I guess then... Sorry. Then what you would do, actually, is you would send Artemis... Let's just do that, then. You would send Artemis with Cilia, just because you need to have the second Artemis engrave, or at least an Artemis engrave. Anyway, LZ and Borlord. Borlord Savage. Whoops. You would search for Now Deception. Off LZ. Use Deception. Send your Eternal Flame Banshee. Infernal. Grab your Hallowed Azamina. Send this. Reveal Rusilago. Bring out Rusilago. Rusilago effect. Grab out your Wanted. Azamina effect. Put Elza to the bottom. Add him back to hand. It back to hand. Fun thing about this card, you can chain a quick play while it's resolving and send the quick play off field. So make sure you do this. Chain link 1, Azamina. Chain link 2, Wanted. Resolving backwards, you grab your Diabell. You reveal and special summon out your Sylvia. And there you go. From here, send one of these two. Probably send the Crowley, because this is at least doing something when it's attached to Savage. And then you get your trap. And finally, with these two bodies, you could make IP. I just make SP. Just for extra deck space, as you see, like we're banning, going through a lot of the extra deck. If you go SP, banish your Corridor, special summon, or banish your flag, special summon Corridor, put back probably Spoon, just because he can search Leona and it's a little better. Now you can actually use Quarter's effect to add back just for a little bit more bodies on the follow up. And here is your end board off, just really Yona. So you have 6 interruptions. 1 Savage negate, 1 Sylvia negate, no searching from the extra deck, or from the main deck, so mistake. You have SP Savage, which is a monster negate and a pop, and a Book of Moon. And also, obviously, you still have want to draw into whatever. Cool, and that's the combo. Now, go and show you what you need for the deck. This is all you need for the combo itself. You technically don't need Nuru or Doom Dragon, but I would recommend adding Doom Dragon in every deck of Magistus you're playing, because we have a lot of equips we can use as material for this thing. For the rest, I think, is pretty mandatory. Yeah, everything else is needed for the combo. I guess SP is not. And there you go. That is Magistus White Forest. How you can play Magistus, go straight into the White Forest combo through Brasilia. Obviously, you can search any light or White Forest card with this card. So you could go even crazier with White Forest combo if you want to. This is the best way to go from Magistus to White Forest. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoy. I don't know if there's anything else I should bring up. Let me quickly look. Yeah, I mean, nothing much to bring up. Extra deck is going to look very similar. You can run the Zora in the White Forest version if you know your opponent's going to be playing Malice or something. Or if you expect it, because Zora can at least lock out both the Lynx and the XYZs. So instead of Savage, because he's a floodgate rather than a negate. What else is there? Yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy the brew. This is something that I cooked up with a couple of my friends on the Magistus Discord. So if you're ever interested in playing Magistus or talking about Magistus with people, we're hopefully going to be helpful if you join the Magistus Discord. Find it on the Discord deck repertoire. I think that's what it's called. And there you go. Have a good rest of your day.